Garrett went up to Lakeland, beat them pretty handily this past week. Bellmont squeaked one out against Whitco.
Yeah,
I thought they would win, but I didn't know necessarily in that fashion.
Belmont's had a wealth of games this year where it's just been really close games, and they had that big 4-game losing streak in the middle of the season that really the team could have just tanked after that. They regrouped, came back, and won 3 straight, 2 close games back-to-back weeks, with East Noble, and then they beat Whitco. So really impressed with them the last couple of weeks. I talked to Larry Getz yesterday, and he said, the resiliency of this team is really impressive to him because he mentioned that 4-game losing streak easily just could have packed it in and said we're done, and they came back and played well. And I don't expect them to back down at all, Garrett. It's gonna be a good game on Friday.
Yeah, Brune, Amaker, they got guys that can run the football like they always do, but it seems like they'll make a play in the air as well. That makes them a dangerous football team, especially at their place. Luers versus Heritage. Heritage went up to West Noble, and West Noble had a very nice season this year, won their half of the NECC. They put up points in a hurry, but let West Noble back into the football game late. Luers, kind of the opposite. Concordia came out, punched him in the mouth at halftime. You flip on around the scores, everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, what's happening at Zolman Stadium?" Came back to win it, 40-26. But what do you see as being the biggest keys in this game? Because both these teams had unexpectedly difficult weeks past week.
I think Heritage needs to get off to a fast start. They can't fall behind multiple scores to Luers early. If they can stay in this in the first half, I think they have the personnel and the talent to really keep this game close throughout. It was a close game last year in the sectional. I think it was 18-13. Luers won last year. So, Luers, they kind of entered the postseason, I think, a little bit with that air of invincibility that, okay, now we're through the challenging part of our schedule. Now we're going to roll 3A. Mm-hmm. They really got smacked in the mouth the first couple quarters last week. And even in the second half, it was pretty close. So, does this kind of wake up Luers a little bit? I think so. But Heritage is a team just like Concordia that if you take them lightly, they could knock you off.
And as far as Heritage, what do they have to do to be successful? I know Austin Conrad had a big game. We've talked about Branson Dawson being one of the better quarterbacks in the area. It just seems like they have so much talent, and yet they haven't always been able to put it together on a Friday.
Yeah, they just need to make a couple big plays. Big turnover for a touchdown, a special teams touchdown. Austin Conrad had that kickoff return for a touchdown last week. They just need to get some bounces, stuff to go their way. They can compete with Luers, but they're going to need a couple positive things to go, especially early, to kind of to quell the momentum early.